Hi, my name is Francisco Silva, and I am continuing the Discovering Your Purpose series. And this is a continuation or a part number 2 of the last video in which I did, and that's called Lack of Resources, the number one reason people don't start. And like I was explaining in that last video, it is very important to start with the resources you have, regardless of how little you actually have to start. And the focus should always be on what I can do right now. For instance, if your purpose is connected to health and you want to start a gym and teach based upon the principles you have learned about fitness, but you don't have the resources momentarily to get a building or a location for your gym just yet, then focus on what you can do now. For example, just start taking classes in regards to health and fitness to keep expanding your knowledge in the area you want to have influence in. While you're doing that, why not start turning what you have been learning into a video set, similar to P90X, for example. And based upon those videos, you never know, that could create enough of a following and a name for yourself where there is now a demand for your gift, and people now are willing to pay for classes from you. And at that time, you might have to even start in your living room or in your basement at the beginning. However, soon enough, you will have enough clients where you can afford to rent a small place somewhere specifically to do your classes, and you pretty much just go from there. And you gotta keep building on your last or your past success. And while you're succeeding, it's so important to manage your resources in every stage of the process so God can bless you with more. I'm going to read the scripture for you, and it's actually found in Luke chapter 16, verse 10. I'll pull up the Bible, since I'm going to read it right from the Bible itself. It says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much." Again, I can't stress enough that your responsibility is simply to initiate. And too many people are waiting on God when God is waiting on you. God cannot steer a parked car. God cannot steer a parked car. You need to be moving. What's great about all of this is that the pressure is not on you, it's on God, because it's not your vision. It's His. So it's His responsibility for the provision. However, your responsibility is to initiate, though. God needs you because you have a body. God is trying to influence the physical realm, but it can't happen without a body. That's why even when demons want to operate and do work here on earth, they can't until they possess a body. And now you know why possession occurs. A body is needed. And when God wanted to restore God's original plan for mankind, He didn't do it from heaven. Instead, He sent Jesus, who had a physical body. Another example is when God wanted to deliver the Israelites from the Egyptians, what did He do? He sent Moses, a physical body. And the examples are endless. The last thing that I wanted to mention is that while you are initiating, it is so important to keep a prayer life, since God cannot do anything without prayer. In fact, Dr. Miles Monroe said, I like how he put it, he stated that prayer is simply an earthly license for heavenly interference. And what you should be praying for is determined by what your purpose is, since your purpose determines the resources that you're going to be receiving. In other words, your purpose impacts your prayer life. And I want you to think about that. Think about it, because it is the truth. God will only give you what is in His will. And since your purpose is His will, everything that is associated with your purpose, you have not only the right to pray for it, but also the right to receive it. Every resource that is not associated or connected with your purpose, don't even waste your time praying for it, because it's not within God's will. See, people get frustrated because their prayers are not being answered. There are many reasons, of course, why prayers don't get answered. But my main question always is, what is your purpose and what are you praying for? Because if you don't know your purpose, then more than likely you're not praying for the right things. Let's study how Jesus prayed. While Jesus was at Mount Olives, right before getting crucified, what did He pray? You can actually find that in Luke 22. I have it right here marked down. Let me flip over to it real quick, getting my Bible. It's actually Luke 22, verse 42. It says, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. And listen to this. Yet not my will, but yours be done. So another example is when Jesus was asked, how do you pray? He answered in Matthew chapter 6. Let me flip over to it real quick. I have it marked as well. It's Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 through 10. It says, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. And listen to this. Your will be done on earth as it is in where? Heaven. So one of the reasons why Jesus' prayers are always answered while he was here on earth is because he always prayed the will of the Father. That's it. That's the secret. So if you want your prayers to be answered, then pray for the things that are in God's will for you, and God's will for you are the things that are in alignment with your purpose.